Welcome to the I'm Not Dumb But podcast, where we won't claim to have the answers to life's deepest questions, but we promise you an exciting journey into the realms of knowledge you never knew you needed. Join us as we dive headfirst into topics that might be mainstream, but not common knowledge. From artificial intelligence to conspiracy theories, no topic is too taboo for us to explore. Let's get curious together. And on this episode, I'm not dumb, but is there really a difference between generic and brand name products? My name is Cesar, joined today by Victor.
What up?
And Rob.
You.
Going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Good, man. So generic or top-notch products? Is that what we're
talking about? Top-notch, top of the line.
Top of the line, we're talking about like the Tylenols, the Advils of it all?
We're talking about that good stuff.
I stick to Stevie S brand.
Ah.
Stevie S?
Yeah, Stevie S.
I think they're going bankrupt.
I don't actually even go into a brand store. I don't go into a CVS. I go into a CVS.
He goes to the guy, Steve, that's hanging out outside of the CVS.
I go to generic stores.
Who scrapes the logos off of my medicine.
I was going to say, I usually go to the supermarket and go bargain hunting. I'm pretty sure Rob goes to the front desk of the supermarket, ask what he wants to get, and they bring it to him.
Yo, supermarkets are expensive for drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Supermarkets are expensive for everything.
Sure. I mean, where else do you get your food? I don't understand.
You get foods on sale. Yeah.
But let's see if after tonight we'll, change somebody's buying habits.
Yeah, talk us through it, man.
I wanted to focus a little bit about generic products, and are they really any different than actually those national recognized brands? You'll be surprised as to what I found. So, generic brand is normally just a product with no advertising and no discernible logo. I want to say in the past, these products I feel like they were considered lower quality and kind of had a stigma of being, just crappy alternatives to, the other products. And if you remember from your microeconomics class, these products are called substitutes.
I didn't take a microeconomics class.
Well, then I'm going to teach you.
Teach me microeconomics.
Only one point.
What? Forget this generic. Just go into microeconomics.
Only one point I'm going to teach you is that these are normally known as substitute products. So when there's like an economic downturn, these products tend to be hot in the streets.
So I've been in an economic downturn since 2000.
Yes. With inflation and with the crappy economy that we're going through, these products are hot. But I think over the past couple of years, a lot of these products are better quality, better price, and a better alternative to like actual recognized brands. And some of the products that I want to talk about today are Walmart's Greater Value, Equate, Target's Market Pantry and Good and Gather, Costco's Kirkland Signature. You guys have tried these products before, right?
Oh, Kirkland Signature. Yeah, Kirkland is top notch.
I like Kirkland. I like Kirkland stuff.
And the biggie, Amazon Basics.
No, Amazon Basics is a trap. Have you ever get a T-shirt from them?
Batteries are pretty good.
They're like, are the batteries?
Yeah, batteries. They're cheap, which for batteries.
I bought
their workout equipment. Their workout equipment is actually pretty good.
Just bought Amazon Basics sponges. I'm thinking, what's the difference with a sponge? This thing falls apart in a week. I'm not doing Amazon Basics. And the T-shirts, they're like paper thin. If I hold it up to the light, dude, if I walk out in daylight, people can see through my T-shirt.
See your nips?
Yeah, I'm not.
Listen, someone slaved in that sweatshop to get you that thin ass T-shirt.
Well, they should have done like a double ply because they could see right through my shirt.
That's cutting into Papa Bezos's bottom line, and we can't have that. He's got to go to space. He's trying to get to Mars.
Red rocks! Yay!
He wants to get a second yacht that fits inside the first one.
Yeah, he needs to get a bigger yacht to fit inside the other yacht and then strap a rocket to it to go to Mars with the yacht.
All right, you know what I'll do? Papa Bezos, this is what I'll do. I'll buy 2 shirts. Just wear them both.
Well, here...
You got to double up shirts.
We're going to talk about Papa Bezos later on, and maybe we'll change the tactic after I go through this little article that I came across about Amazon and their private label. So, actually, any generic brand is basically if you go into like a discount store, and these are the brands that you walk in, You want some Oreos, you end up getting like some Cookies or whatever random generic name that they have. A subset of that is whenever you go to like one of those major retailers and they have like those store brands, it's called the private label. And that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight, private label. These are just retailers that hire out these manufacturers. They tell these manufacturers, hey, we want you to make this product for us, and we want you to slap this label on it. That's our store brand. So anytime, like I mentioned, you go to like Aldi's, they have their specially selected. Walmart has their greater value or equate. Amazon has this Amazon Basics and a whole host of other private labels. So have you guys heard of anything about, what do you guys know about private label brands?
Like the Amazon Basics and the Crate, or was it Craft and Barrel and all that stuff? Yeah. Those are good. I like those.
Usually my basics, like butter or anything I'm going to like turn into something else, I'll go basic. Private brand, that's what you called it, right?
So the private label is anytime you go into it's a store brand.
Okay, yeah. So anytime I'm going to like use it to turn into something, for instance, graham crackers. The store brand tastes like shit, but if I'm putting it on the bottom of a cheesecake, I get store brand because you're not gonna really tell a huge difference.
Yeah.
But I will say this: you get the store brand graham crackers versus I forgot the brand of it, the Nabisco graham crackers. By itself, you taste the difference.
Oh, you definitely taste the difference. Some of them, they have like an aftertaste to it that's just like, yeah, you know what I mean?
It lingers.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, there are some like private label brands that are, or some store brands that are just as good as the national brands, though.
Who's making these private labels? You know how, because you hear the rumor, like Kirkland's like, yeah, it's just Grey Goose vodka and we're slapping a Kirkland sticker on it. Is that true? Or are they?
Very good question. But I have heard that. And guess what? The answer may surprise you. We do not know. Neither the retailer or the manufacturer is taking credit for who's making those private label brands. You want to know why? Because
they don't want to cannibalize their own brand?
Somewhat. Because sometimes those private label products are actually manufactured in the same companies, by the same companies that manufacture these national name products. If I'm Target, or if I'm a Walmart, and I go to Heinz and I say, Heinz, I want you to make ketchup for me, and just slap my brand on it. Heinz is going to be like, yes and no, because then we're going to be selling you guys a product, and you guys are going to sell it for cheaper. Why would we want to try to cut into our profits? And then Walmart can say, well, if you don't, we're going to find someone else who does it. So the bottom line is, a lot of the times, those products that you're eating, that they're store brand, are actually manufactured by the same companies that manufacture the national products. When you mentioned Kirkland, it might be Grey Goose, just slapped on a Costco brand logo on it.
I've heard the same thing. I did way back when I was a studious student. I did a case study in one of my classes about tires, Goodyear tires. And I think part of the whole Goodyear tires is that, like, example, there's like one factory. But from that one factory, like 3 different brands of tires come out of it. They're all the same tire, but they'll put different labels on it and then sell them at different price points.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times these national manufacturers, they're like, one, they're building this stuff or they're making this stuff on their excess capacity. So they have the machinery or they have the capacity to do so. And 2, if a major retailer like that comes to you and says, I want this product, you're not going to say no. 1, these retailers are big and they can push their weight around. They're going to say, okay, fine. If you don't want to make our products, then we'll go somewhere else. Or we'll just so happen to stock your product somewhere in the back where no one can find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like no one's going to say no to a Walmart, right? Like, you're going to say no to Walmart? That's kind of a hard, but, like a Stevie S.
A Stevie S.
That guy. Stevie S is screwed.
No chance.
We don't always know that a generic product is a better product. it could just be second to the original product that we think it is, right? It's not always just a cheaper version. I mean,
so let's do it
you know
based
what I
on
mean?
all right. So first, based on taste, right? A lot of the times, a cheaper product or a store brand product tends to have this, notion that okay, it's less quality or it tastes worse. And there's some products true that are. I would never try. Have you guys ever tried store brand cereal that comes in a bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I've
good.
never had it.
You never had it?
No.
Not even growing up?
Nope.
Bro, you must have been rich. Shit.
I've never had it. Also, like, I remember, I think a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned the crazy coupon lady. Remember that? For
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she polled her audience and stuff, and she tried to get like a consensus of like, okay, what kind of products are best? But she went through some name brand products against some store brand products to try to figure out what tasted the best, right? So she asked, Oscar Mayer bacon. Do you guys buy that bacon?
I've had it. I get heritage pork
Oh, so yeah.
from Butcher Box.
Oh.
Look
Those
at
are
this
fancy.
guy.
So
This
those are
guy.
fancy.
I've gotten like store brand ShopRite bacon.
Have you tried the Oscar Mayer one?
No.
Okay.
It's probably expensive. That's probably why. Bacon's expensive, bro.
Well,
Yeah,
based
bacon.
on her polling, it was a 50-50. So people were undecided as to which one was best. I have tried the Oscar Mayer bacon from BJ's. Turkey bacon. That's
Turkey bacon. Don't call it bacon, bro. That shit's processed garbage.
I like it. You mentioned earlier if, Victor, if you're going to try to take a product or take something and you're going to make something else with it, all-purpose flour, you have the gold medal one. I think that's the more fancier one, or the greater.
I do King Arthur.
King Arthur? I've seen.
I don't skimp on flour. Flour is not something I skimp on. Sugar, I'll skimp on.
Yeah.
Flour, I will not. Flour that you can taste the difference with flour.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Hers.
There's certain things I will not skimp on. Like if I will not shop at DSW or any of these outlets or whatever to get shoes. They're just different. Like you could tell the shoes are different.
Where do you get your shoes then?
Yeah. And what brands are you getting?
Yo, I went to a DSW. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
I went to a DSW one time. This is the first week of my new job. I get these pair of like shoes, whatever. I was like, perfect. These things are on sale. I literally wore them for one day. By the end of the day, I was shuffling my feet because the entire shoe had fallen apart. And if I picked my foot up off the ground, it would have literally come out of the shoe. So I took that thing. I walked to my car. Okay. I walked into DSW with one sock and one shoe. And I told the person, I said, I want to return these. And he was like, well, when did you buy them? And I showed him the receipt that I bought it yesterday. He goes, this is the first time I've ever seen this in my entire life. And that was the last time I ever shopped at DSW. Their stuff is not the same. And if you ever go and like buy a pair of shoes, like you know how you could take like the insoles out of shoes and all that. You can't do that with some of these shoes. They're like glued on. They're made different.
But that's a little different because I don't think DSW is making their own shoes. So you might have just
but they're getting
but
a Nike or whoever it is.
Oh, so that's different. I'm literally talking about these retailers that make their own stuff that are.
Gotcha.
So the product is made somewhere else.
Right, so don't listen to me.
They're just slapping it on. Yeah. What you might be talking about is just like some kind of aftermarket stuff.
Yeah, aftermarket.
Because isn't that what like?
I mean,
TJ Maxx does.
I can't afford regular Advil. I can't afford regular Tylenol. Like if I go over a friend's house and I got to open up his like medicine cabinet and he's got like the top knot, that's like a power play for me.
He's got a Tesla in the parking lot in the driveway.
Yeah.
Hold on to that thought.
Yeah,
I will surprise you later on.
That's like having a Ferrari in the garage.
You'll see that Ferrari is the same thing as a Honda. You'll see.
I don't know.
I guarantee you.
I just took 6 liquid gels because It's not the same as Advil, I'll tell you right now. It's not the same. I'll take 1 or 2 of these, nothing happens. I'm like half the bottle deep right now just to get rid of this.
I was going to go into it later, but let's jump into it right now. So in terms of generic products, right, one of the biggest are generic drugs. And I used to be a snob when it came to generic drugs. I would never buy a store brand drug. You ever go into like CVS or Walgreens where you see those products and it says compared to the same active ingredients as one of those brand name products? On the label, and it's just a label of like a Walgreens or whatever it is. Well, listen to this. Are generic drugs worse than name brand drugs? Let's see. So a generic drug is just a medication with the same active ingredients as the brand name drug. It's taken in the same way and offers the same effect. The only difference is they don't have to contain the same inactive ingredients. And by inactive, it means either the flavoring or the coloring, something a little different than the actual brand name product. Mm-hmm. But these generic drugs are only created after the main manufacturer of like the name brand drug loses his trademark or loses his patent. So about 20 years. So those liquid pills that you're taking, right? They were store brand?
Yeah. And I can tell the difference. Like if I got a headache and I take 2 Advils, I'm golden. These things, I got to take way more than that to even just.
You're borderline overdosing yourself.
I have to wash it down with at least 6 to 8 ounces of vodka. I don't know if that's like an inactive ingredient to kind of mellow it out.
No, it's a complementary substance.
It goes with it.
But it's a Kirkland.
It's a Kirkland vodka.
So maybe it's probably just Grey Goose.
So let me tell you, my friend, that it might be all in your head because the FDA has these standards for these genetic drugs to ensure that they work the same way and have the same benefits and same risk as the brand name counterparts. The FDA says for a company to make a generic drug, they need to follow these 3 things. 1, generic drug must have the same active ingredients. 2, the dosage and the strength have to be identical to the name brand drug. And 3, the overall quality, stability, and safety must be the same. Meaning, a generic drug must be bioequivalent to the name brand drug or chemically similar. AKA, it's the same goddamn drug. You have been taking those liquid pills, it's the same goddamn thing. You feel better already.
Rob is fuming right now. He's like, it's
your
like
friend's Lamborghini is a fucking 97 Honda.
It's like you told him he's been taking placebos, and now he's just like, no, I haven't. It's not working. I've done the comparison at CVS, when I'm strapped for cash, which is like all the time. So some of the store brand drugs, if you compare they'll have like sometimes more of the active ingredient than the name brand.
Oh, really?
Not by much. It's like milliliters, but it's still like it's a little bit more, depending on what it is.
Yeah, so the main manufacturer of the name brand drugs, right, could be the same facility that are actually doing these store brand drugs. The difference is to change it up, the manufacturer can actually change the inactive ingredients just slightly or just add, but not by much.
Just to cut cost. But you know what I feel like?
Not really cut costs because it's the same thing. What it's doing is it's not, in order to try to, save a product, they're not going to give you the same product, theoretically, as the one you're not going to get a NyQuil and a CVS NyQuil, and it's things are going to be slightly different. But
like going back to the Advil, right? Like you ever take Advil?
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like fucking candy. It tastes like M&Ms, right?
How many are you taking? I think this is probably your problem.
This might need to be an
no,
intervention.
they got the coating. They got the coating.
It's not an M&M, bro.
They got
Yo,
peanut
they have
apples.
like they have that sugary coating to it. You never
had Advil? You ever had
had
Advil with the brownie in the center?
And I've never popped 7 liquid ones either. Bro, this might be an intervention.
We actually might have to end early. Rob probably needs to get his stomach pumped.
I'm taking generic charcoal pills. So I think I should be all right.
No, but seriously, all these, it's literally the same thing.
But I just feel like there's no like proprietary, like these guys got it down, and then they're just.
I got something for you. When the reason why these name brand drugs are more expensive, right, was because one, when these drug companies were coming out with the drugs, they had to do all the research, all get the patents, get everything going, get it ready to go to market. So whenever you bring a drug to market, you put all these costs in there, and you are the ones paving the way to bring this drug to the market. So you get a patent. That patent expires normally within 20 years. In order for another drug company to come and do a store brand version of that, all they have to do is just wait for the 20 years to be over, go in there, fill out some paperwork, make sure they have the facilities to do this, or make sure they have the resources to go out and get these drugs manufactured. There's I think there's a 180-day period where, like, if you're the second drug company to make these drugs, you have like a little grace period where in the first 180 days you can charge as much as you want for the drug, but not as much as, the name brand drug. And the reason why these store brand drugs are cheaper is because of what you just mentioned. You think that there's no proprietary anything, but that stuff's been done already. All those research, all that marketing, all that stuff has already been done by the main drug company who created the brand name drug to begin with. The second company is just riding on its coattails. All those savings are going to be passed on to you, the consumer. So that's why they're cheaper, but the same efficacy.
So have you now changed your ways?
Yeah.
Like, if I opened up your cabinet right now,
bro,
it'd be all generic.
Yep. After learning this, because it's literally the same thing, especially if the FDA says, in order for these drugs to come out to market, they have to do almost exactly the same thing as these other drugs. And these drugs sometimes are made by the same facilities that all these other drugs are made in. So yeah, I have changed my ways. You guys want to hear a fun fact?
I love fun facts.
I mentioned a second drug company could come in and create a store brand version of a drug after the patent or trademark has expired, normally after 20 years. But also, there's products that can become, manufactured by different companies, and they don't have to worry about doing any, legal liabilities in terms of, any trademark issues or anything, because the word has become ingrained into everyday vernacular. And what I mean by this is that,
like Xeroxed it?
Somewhat, yeah.
Google it?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Well, Google it, I think, is specific. I was going to say it's something like Q-tips or Band-Aids.
Yes, like that.
Like Q-tips is a brand, but everyone
uses it.
Well, everyone just uses it as generically those Q-tip looking things.
Exactly.
I don't even know what they're really called.
Exactly. They're probably called Q-tips.
Cotton swabs?
Cotton swabs, that's what it is.
But what is the actual cotton balls?
Cotton balls.
Well, cotton balls are different. Cotton balls are just balls. Cotton swabs are stuck on the stick.
With the stick. And then what's the one? Cotton pads.
What the fuck's a cotton pad?
Like they're like circular. You see,
the little dotting ones for the face.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that for?
Acne. Or to clean off excess oil.
Oh, like a makeup remover?
No. It's literally it's like a little round pad made out of cotton, and you use it for blotting and stuff. You can use it for makeup, but a lot of the times also you can put stuff to clean your face.
My skin's just perfect.
Well, excuse me. But fun fact: did you guys know that dumpster was actually trademarked once? It was considered a trademark because it was a type of mobile garbage bin. But now it's a general name for any product serving this purpose. Also, the zipper was trademarked by B.F. Goodrich when it was producing rubber boots. And the last one I got is escalator. It was actually trademarked by the Otis Elevator Company. But now it refers to any such device.
They got the elevator market cornered.
But yeah.
Everything's an Otis.
You ever watch that YouTube channel of the guy riding an elevator?
No.
Yeah.
You don't even see the guy. He's wearing a GoPro, and he just goes into elevators across the fucking world, I guess, a country. I don't know. I don't even know where the fuck he is. And he just rides elevators. And he just, I think he talks about the elevator. I'm not even sure.
And he has millions of views.
Yeah, of course he does. Who wouldn't watch that?
What did I do with my life, huh?
Yeah.
What am I doing with my
real?
life?
That's amazing. I've never heard of that. This guy just rides elevators? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So can we just do a recap? All right, so we have generic brands, right? And then
A subset of
a
that.
private label.
A subset of that.
Uh-huh.
So a generic brand is anything that has no advertisement and no discernible logo. You can't tell what it is.
Mm-hmm.
A subset of that is referred to as a private label, most known as a store brand. So anytime you go to a store, it's the store's brand. When I'm talking about generic drugs, those are the ones that I'm talking about. Their store, you go to CVS, it's a CVS brand.
Any product. So we do have like the Amazon Basics. That's a private label. Also, Kirkland is a private.
And they're all considered generic. It's just the further subset of that. That's what I learned about drugs. The store brand drugs have the same efficacy and 20 to 30%, even sometimes half the cost of an actual known brand drug.
Yeah. That's what I always say. The store brand cocaine, way better.
Way better.
And cheaper than
definitely cheaper.
The street cocaine.
Yeah, so the only reason why it's cheaper is because they don't have to put money into marketing. All that marketing is already out there for these, national brands, and then they save costs by just putting a simple little label, selling it as theirs, but adding when next time you go to like a CVS or Walgreens or any of these stores and you see drugs over-the-counter drugs, you're going to see the little thing that says, as compared to the active ingredients of. And that's just literally telling you it's all the ingredients that make the drug do what it's supposed to do. We have it.
So I'm sold on the drug thing. Okay, I will never buy straight up real cocaine. I'm going for the generic cocaine. But I am not sold on the generic clothing store, like the private label clothing, the private label like cleaning products. They're never as good. They don't cut grease as good as like a 409 or
and
anything
the scent
else.
for some of the soaps, like dish soap, I need my lemon scent. If I don't got my lemon scent, we're not cutting grease.
And I'm washing my hands. My hands, some of them they come out. Look at them. Look at my hands right now.
Oh my god!
Right?
Oh, you need to moisturize.
That is
look at baby's hand.
Just the worst. I mean, 20 years of just skipping manual labor, right? I need to moisturize. I do all this stuff. I can't get that generic stuff. It just destroys my hands. And I'm not wearing gloves.
I wear gloves.
I'm not wearing gloves. Do you really?
The water that I use is going to burn
my hand. You wear gloves
to
wash clothes.
Yes, that's the thing. Because I put it on scalding hot.
Yep.
And then so when I wear the gloves, I'm like, everything's fucking clean.
Yes, exactly.
No, my hands are burned. I'm putting like burn gel on my hands after I do the dishes.
My hands come out red, dry, but plates are clean.
Yeah, and so are your hands, really. No transfer of bacteria whatsoever.
No, you have to take out your hands out of your gloves, and then you got to put on lotion because all that heat kind of like eroded the top skin layer, and you're like, why is my hand so itchy?
That's why I stopped using gloves, because it was the gloves would kind of get gross after. And this side note, you know what? Another thing about the dishwasher gloves that always freaked me out. I always think that there's a bug or a spider hiding in them, waiting for me to put them on.
Yeah.
You don't do the little flip, the little.
I don't feel it's enough. What if I just freak him out? Now he's inside. He's thinking he's trapped in there. And then my hand slides in and he's like, look at this fucking hand. And he bites me. And then I fucking turn into a radioactive fucking Spider-Man.
That's actually not bad.
All right. I'm going to wear gloves again. I'm going to start wearing gloves again.
There are products where like you have to, because everything is based on the preference of the individual, right? In terms of taste, in terms of quality. next time you are looking at a product that is store brand, now you have to say, okay, there's the name brand product. So you mentioned 409, right? But then are you buying a generic or are you buying a store brand? Because the store brand ones might be closer to the 409 because the store brand might be made in the facility where the 409 is actually made as well. The generic ones, I agree. Those are the ones that you've never seen this label before. You've never seen this brand before. Those are the ones that poor quality, and they are probably the shit of the shit.
I agree. I do the private label.
I buy store brand bleach because bleach is bleach.
Bleach is bleach.
But flour is not. I agree. I agree with that. Bleach is bleach. There's some things that it just doesn't matter, right? Bleach is bleach.
So they mentioned that based on my research.
So what's a cleaning product that you wouldn't skimp on? Like Windex or something like that?
Yeah.
A glass cleaner?
Windex, I wouldn't.
Yeah, glass cleaner's not the same.
Because it leaves streaks?
There's some products also that I wouldn't like go away from Glad products and Bounty.
But yeah,
I've tried the store brand. I've tried generic. And Bounty has that formula down, right? Yeah. Those are something that I would never go away with. Even if it's like half the price, no way. Give me my Bounty.
Toilet paper too.
Toilet paper too.
I'm not skimping on toilet paper.
I feel that way about tires. I'm like tires? I'm moving this thing. Yeah, like any that's touching the road. Like I got this car. It's like worth $500, but the tires, the tires are what's touching the road. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's like I'm not skipping.
But do you know what do you do for tires then? What do you know? Because I don't know brands of tires. I have Goodyear. I have Goodyear.
I don't do Firestone because of what happened like 15 years ago.
I think it was more than 15 years ago at this point, but
it was probably 35 years ago.
I agree. It's funny. I agree.
I still, in my mind, like Firestone is no. You want to die, you go to Firestone. You want to live, you go to Goodyear. Like that was.
That's crazy. That's crazy that we think that for something that happened 3 decades ago, probably.
Yeah, but you know what? That shit was happening when I first got my car. So in my head, I'm like, I'm doing that Firestone.
I do the Mavis, and Mavis, if you buy any tires, I do the based on the ratings. They have a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of ratings on there. And even if I don't know the brand of the tire, I go by the ratings. So a lot of the times those Goodyears, those other ones, based on the ratings, are like, yeah, these are more expensive and the ratings suck. So I normally go on the ratings because they tend to be pretty good.
What ratings though? Like what are we talking about?
There's like a rating agency?
Third party?
No. They grade the tires these are actual individuals that grade the tires based on whether it's through rain, through snow, so stuff like that. So I go by those ratings. But it's not people from Mavis, it's actually users of those tires. And they're like, yeah, I bought this, and they've sucked in the rain, and they sucked in the snow, and they rate it out of 10. But to go back, so from my research, it's like there's some products that generic is almost the same as the name brand, and they mention sugar, flour. I know you, Victor, you want that.
There's a difference.
What's the flour you use?
King Arthur's. Spices
they mentioned. Milk they mentioned it was the same thing as the store brand or same thing as the brand name product.
I mostly see store brand. Do I see store brand milk? When you go to a store, isn't it usually the biggest section is their store brand?
You know what? I've never noticed.
Who's the killer? Who's the
killer whale in the milk industry?
Milk. Yeah, I always get them.
I'm pretty sure they're mentioning if you go to let's say a Target or Walmart, those brands are almost as equally the same all throughout. Milk is milk. And then spices. They mentioned spices are almost the same thing as
Yo, spices are expensive.
McCormick can go fuck themselves with how much they charge for their shit.
Bro.
Fuck that.
Oh,
I buy it from Amazon now. It's the cheapest shit I can find.
Oh, do you really?
Because they'll sell you. They'll sell you
from McCormick or Amazon's.
Whatever brand's cheapest. Yeah. Whatever brand's cheapest.
There you go. See.
And they'll send you'll buy a big one too. I have a huge thing of bay leaves. It's lasted me over a few years. Or turmeric. I bought a huge thing of turmeric.
That's good for inflammation, bro.
I'm gonna die before I run out of turmeric.
You're gonna die because of turmeric.
If you keep eating it, you might not die.
Is it good?
This shit'll keep you
All
alive
right,
forever.
shit. I don't got kids to give it to, so
Leave it to this podcast.
I'm gonna donate it to a charity. I've used this turmeric for 50 years.
And frozen veggies.
Frozen veggies. Oh,
I
get
don't get
that. Yeah, I
frozen
get
veggies.
the store brand.
I get them. Good.
Buy fresh.
I get the
bro.
frozen. Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Fucking veggies. All the nutrients are
Sometimes-
sucked out of them, bro.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Nah.
What veggies are you getting that are
You put
frozen
up-
that need to be frozen that you can't get fresh?
The ones in the bag.
No, they have carrots in the bag. You can get that fresh.
I do the steamables. I throw that shit. Yep, I take it. I throw it into that healthy microwave.
Yes.
Come out, cut it.
What are you
dump it
getting
in
though
there.
in there? What's in there?
Nutrients.
Assorted
What's
mix. Assorted
specific?
mix.
Oh yeah, they assorted.
Because like broccoli, just
Little
buy
bit
the
of
crowns,
corn.
bro.
There's some frozen crown bags that I buy.
Yo,
No, you
broccoli
just-
frozen is disgusting. When you fucking, it's just wet. It's in constant
Yeah, it
state
is
of
gross.
wet after you
After you
cook
open
it.
it, yeah.
After you cook
I
it.
take it and I throw it in a pan with some oil and I like crisp them up, and then the corn gets nice and sweet.
Corn I can see because it's
Corn,
not
yeah.
always in season though. But if it's like right now, there's corn at the supermarket every week that I'm going there. I'm buying it fresh.
You're buying it fresh, and what are you
In the husk?
boiling it?
No, well, it depends. Sometimes I boil it for like a minute and then I cut off the kernels, or sometimes I'll just cut off the kernels. There's a little like mix it with some scallions, and then fry it with some butter. Delicious.
Sound good.
It sounds really amazing. Yeah.
I'll start
Yeah,
buying
I'm
fresh corn
actually
then.
Fucking starving.
So forget this whole podcast.
Broccoli is fucking thing. Carrots, peas.
You buy
I
carrots
guess
fresh?
Yeah, of course.
I buy it from the bag.
Oh fuck no. Fuck no. What? Carrots last forever. Why are you buying it fresh?
No, they don't.
You're not storing them right.
I don't eat them enough. I buy them and I'm like, I'm gonna eat them, and I never eat
Buy them, wash them or peel them. I peel them. I store my carrots in sticks.
them. Dice them.
No, I stick them. I make them sticks.
I thought you put them in sticks.
No, what does that even mean? I
No, do you
I
fucking live in a
peel
farm?
them.
I don't know.
right? I cut them into sticks, to smaller pieces, and then I line a plastic Tupperware with paper towels, and then I throw it in there, throw it in the fridge. Yeah, it'll last me a month.
Too much work.
No mold, and they won't get soft. They'll dry up a bit, but they won't go bad.
I like the baby carrots though.
That's a waste, bro.
No, they just make them smaller.
No, they don't make them smaller, bro. They cut large carrots into small carrots,
That's
and
how
then they
do it.
bleach them.
That's
What?
news to me.
You didn't know that?
They bleach
Yeah,
them?
they bleached them. That's why they're fucking soggy in that fucking bag. They had to clean them.
Oh, they're soaked in
Yeah,
that
because
bag.
they have to wash them after they peel it and then grind it down to that little nub. They have to wash them and then they throw them into that bag within all those chemicals and shit. Never buy baby carrots, bro. What a waste.
God, well, I just bought
Sounds
shredded.
dis-
Yeah, that's what you've been eating. So store brand baby carrots though.
Hey,
Yeah,
Get the
that's
generic brand.
that's good. Yeah, yeah.
yes, but yeah. So there are some products. Based on my research, it just depends on your preference. But a lot of the times, the supermarket now has the store brands, and their quality are, it's in the eye of the beholder, in the eye of the consumer. But for me, it's been pretty good compared to branding products. Plus, over the life, let's say you're going to save about 30 to 40%, and this is just only if you're comparing two products. If you're comparing a product with either a name brand and it has an alternative store brand. Based on the research, a lot of the times you don't know where these products are being produced, right? And if you go and you see two products and one is name brand and one is store brand and they look exactly the same, because you know how sometimes, other than the marketing, other than the the packaging, these items look exactly the same. And you're like, what's the difference? There might not be a difference. It might be the same thing, just packaged differently.
To go into another rant, store brand yogurt, pass.
All day. Yeah, I don't mess with that.
It's-
No, this
I
was
mean, I
pretty good.
do.
The one in ShopRite.
No, I've gotten the generic. No, it's watery. It's like you pour half of it out.
Yeah, there's always water in it every morning.
It's not as like
I'm like
thick.
pouring
It's
it.
not as thick as the like Chobani and.
Well, she did. The crazy coupon lady did ask people which one's better, Chobani Greek yogurt or the Greek non-fat store brand. Everybody said Chobani.
Let's go through the crazy coupon lady's survey.
Oh, she has one? Ooh, let's look at this.
Go through which ones that she talked about.
She just talked about ones that we talked about earlier. So the Oscar Mayer bacon against the Greater Valley bacon. Greater Valley is all Walmart.
Great Value, whatever that is.
Great Value, yeah. And do you guys know Equate is also a Walmart brand? I did not know that.
I never heard of Equate.
Oh, I thought it was their own thing.
Yeah, it's Walmart's private label. A little bit, we're going to talk about Amazon and their private labels, and we'll talk about them. But so for the crazy coupon lady, she mentioned the gold medal all-purpose flour, Chobani, Mrs. Butterworth versus Greater Value.
Versus who? Give us the results.
Oh, all right. So Mrs. Butterworth against the Greater Value's original syrup. Mrs. Butterworth won, hands down.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would say that.
Simple orange juice, you know the brand Simple, versus the Market Pantry orange juice. Surprisingly, the store brand won that one, Market Pantry orange juice.
As simple as a bad, I would have compared it with Tropicana. Yeah. Yeah, like Minute Maid tastes like shit.
Matte sugary. Oreos versus Greater Value cookies. Come on.
Oreos,
hands down.
Oreos winning, right? Did Oreos win?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yo, I heard that Oreos was like the generic brand. Did you ever hear that? That like there was another cookie company that came out. It was called like Hydrox.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And then Oreos came out after as the generic brand, but then Hydrox sounded like a cleaning product, so Oreos pretty much
terrible
picked
marketing.
It up. Is that true?
I didn't come across that, but
yeah, I always heard that. Like, I mean, you never know if it's true, but I always heard that Oreo was the generic, and now they're here to stay. I mean, they taste delicious.
Well, now they have like 30 million fucking flavors.
Yeah, it's crazy. Churro.
Yeah. And you gotta have
churro.
Stuffed. I mean,
I don't eat double stuffed anymore.
I haven't had. I did. Like I don't.
That was younger me. That was younger Victor.
I eat one of those, I'd probably go into a coma.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into a fucking diabetic shock if I eat a fucking double stuff.
Maybe that's why you need to take 7 store brand Advils, even though one is just fine.
He has to overdo it. It can't be one double stuffed.
There's no marketing in this.
He eats a whole sleeve at a time.
Where's the proprietary stuff?
And then it's like I need to wash this down with some milk. Drinks like half a gallon of milk. Store brand. He has no he can't portion things out.
She mentioned Bounty against the Up and Up brand. I think that's another store brand.
Oh yeah,
Bounty hands down.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, she Heinz ketchup versus store brand ketchup, and the store brand won.
Which store brand does it say?
Oh, I like Heinz though. I like.
I don't do ketchup, to be honest. I stopped.
No,
it's too much sugar in it.
They have low sugar ones.
I can't stop that.
Why would I waste my time?
No.
I don't put it on stuff. If it comes with something, I'll leave it on. But I don't ask for it. But I don't dip my fries into ketchup anymore. I just eat those straight up.
The crazy thing about all this is, and I think one of the main takeaways that I think I came away with when I was doing all this research, is depending on the store brand product and the name brand product, they might be produced in the same factory. So you might literally be eating the same product just under a different label. So maybe it's not because it tastes better or the quality or whatever. It's literally just the perception of it.
It's like is that Mandela effect?
No, I've never been to the Philippines. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, like, so why do people buy brands? What are the reasons? Like brand loyalty. Consumers know what they like and they don't.
Now I feel like I'm in a fucking economics class.
I told you I was going to teach you.
I've been smoking Lucky Strike for the past 20 years.
He's the Lucky Strike man.
Lucky Strikes is toasted.
Since the war.
It's gotten me through. I feel there's quality in brands. Like when one of the first things I think of, this is one of the first things I think of when I go in and I see a brand and I see a generic brand or a white label or a private label or a whatever you want, a blue label, whatever you want to call it. I immediately think of quality. So I'm thinking, okay, which one do I want? Do I want the better quality or do I want to go with the cheaper quality? Like is the purpose that I'm trying to serve, does it need the higher quality or does it need the lower quality? This is my way of thinking, and this might not be correct. And then I say, okay, you know what? I don't really care about the quality in this case because I don't care what kind of flour it is. You might, I purposely wouldn't. And then I immediately look at the price and I'm like, which one's better? Like, is this worth it? So to me, I'll determine if the price is going to outweigh the quality. You know, there's some things like Bounty. I don't care how much it is. I don't care if the other one's 99 cents a sheet or whatever it is, you know. I'll pick Bounty. But for the most part, I think, where am I willing to skimp on quality? A store brand to me, I immediately think quality.
You immediately think quality?
Or a name brand.
Oh, name brand.
Yeah.
No, I think I think that if you next time you walk into a store and you see a store brand versus a name brand, maybe think twice. Maybe don't think quality off the bat. Maybe think like, you know what? Let me look a little closer and see. These are the same ingredients, same thing. It actually looks exactly the same. The only difference is the packaging. You know what? This might be the same fucking thing, and I might be paying 30% premium on it just because it has a brand name.
Oh, definitely now after this podcast, definitely right now. Like if I go into a store, I'm going to look for the private label because I feel like to me now I'm starting to think that the quality could be the same or just a little bit, you know, less. So I would think that I would probably go with more of a private now over just a generic.
Don't do generic. Brand. Only private labels. That's basically what this whole thing. What I found.
That's what you found.
Because there are some products that realistically, like you're not going to be able. Like I said, Bounty, you can't compare. You know what I'm saying? There's some products that regardless of how cheap or whatever the store brand label is, you just can't do it. But like I mentioned, when I go into Walgreens and CVS now, and I look at these drugs, and if you're looking at the prices, they're almost double. Name brand drugs, over the counter drugs, are almost double what a store brand drug is. Even though realistically it might be the same drug, just the taste might be a little different. Just that's it. The taste or the coloring might be a little different, but the efficacy or what you want the drug to do is actually the same. So it's kind of crazy. We were talking about Amazon earlier, and Amazon has, you know, their private labels too. One of the big ones is Amazon Basics. But as of 2019, Amazon actually had about 158,000 private label products across 45 brands.
158,000?
Yes, private label products across 45 brands, along with other brands sold by its online grocery service, Amazon Fresh. Amazon is a great marketplace. It brings in all these people with all these products and, you know, allows capitalism to work. Except a couple of years ago, their Amazon private business was in the crosshairs of some antitrust regulators after third-party sellers raised concerns that Amazon executives improperly access merchant data to develop their own competing products.
Oh, I believe that.
So what they were doing, allegedly, is they had the data of all these products that were being sold. And, you know, I think one of the videos I saw was like there was a guy making bags and the bags was hot and they were being sold. Somehow, some way, Amazon decided to create a private label and start making bags that looked exactly similar to that bag of this gentleman. The quality wasn't the same because the bags eventually, they kind of killed that product. But it was one of the ways where like these investigators are trying to see, okay, like Amazon, are you using this data just to see what products are available and then just hiring a manufacturing company to create another private label and just do these products for yourself? So that was what the article was about.
And did they admit to it, or did they settle?
Nothing has come of yet. I think because it was in 2022. I think, but our boy Jeff Bezos was asked by a committee, House antitrust subcommittee, about these practices, and he said, and I quote, "What I can tell you is we have a policy against using seller-specific data to aid our private label business, but I can't guarantee you that the policy has never been violated." End quote.
Oh,
Come
oh
on.
my God. Oh my God. That's why he's in outer space and I'm right here. This guy.
So the issue arises when data is a new currency, right? Amazon might be allegedly taking data from these, what products are selling, what features are selling, what this is selling, making their own private labels out of it, making their own private label products out of it, and then hypothetically taking those products and making it on the first page, and then hiding the other products in the second, third, fourth page so no one can find them. Allegedly.
I mean, it seems like it's got to be easy to make a private label product. Is it? Like the process?
In terms of like clothing, yeah, you have these manufacturers that can probably do it, and then you just slap their own. Because a lot of these companies, I think it's white label, something like that, where a company creates this product, and instead of selling the product itself, what it does is just sells it to different people, and then just puts their own label on top of it.
Yeah.
It's just a generic product, you go around selling it to other companies instead selling it to.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like there's a generic manufacturing company.
Yeah,
They're already making this stuff. You're just saying, hey, can you just slap a few?
Yeah.
Can you make them red and then put an Amazon sticker on them?
Yeah. I'm assuming that's what happened with your T-shirt.
Yeah, Amazon Basics got to step it up. Their T-shirts are whack. Your sponges are whack.
Bro, batteries are pretty good, and
things fell apart.
Yeah, I got the batteries and the foam rollers. I got a few foam rollers that are Amazon Basics.
your little baggies for the cat stuff.
I heard the batteries are good. Foam roller? I mean, how you going to get that one wrong?
Well, with the data they have on the highest, the best foam roller company, how can they get it wrong? And I bought bed sheets, and these things have like 150,000 reviews, all positive. We bought it.
Oh, that sounds like garbage.
No.
Garbaggio.
Amazing.
I don't skimp out on bed sheets, bro. I'm sleeping on fucking air. Bezos was probably like this. I can't confirm that we haven't violated our own policy. Why don't you just step onto my yacht and I'll go through the numbers with you, Senator?
By the way, we're not a profitable company.
Yeah. By the way, you're up for re-election, aren't you? How's that going?
Yeah. That's probably how it went.
So allegedly, Amazon private labels. Just to recap, generic products are any products that have no discernible logo, or that you just walk into a random store and you see these things that you will never see again. Private labels are store brand products. So if you walk into a ShopRite, if you go into a Walmart or Amazon, these are just any products that have their own labels. These companies actually don't produce these products. They just get it produced by another company, by another manufacturer. And that manufacturer may also produce these other big name products that you actually use. So, potentially, next time you go out, you buy a product, let's say like a ketchup, like a Walmart ketchup bottle. Theoretically, you might be using the same ketchup that, Heinz, because Heinz, produces ketchup, produces Walmart's ketchup, and just slaps the Walmart's label onto their products. And ultimately, it's based on the consumer preference. But to say that these store brand products are worse based on taste or quality, you might be surprised. You guys got any questions?
I mean, you pretty much answered what I thought. I mean, there's some things I'm not going to skimp on. Definitely going to skimp on drugs now. But yeah, there's some products I just won't. Bounty, one of them. I'm not messing with Amazon Basics too much. And Yeah, like cleaning products. I'm gonna go for the private label more often now. I think definitely.
Next time, try it. Buy a store brand, and then compare it, and you're like, huh, it smells the same, works the same, it looks like exactly the same as this one. I wonder, is it just the same thing with a different brand, with different packaging on it?
And we can never know. We'll never know.
What about you, Victor? Learned anything new today?
Yeah, I learned that people are being bamboozled at the stores. No, go store brand. It doesn't change really me. I've always done it on a financial reason for this, but I mean, I guess it's not even a financial reason. It's just kind of logic. If it's the same product, why not pay less for it?
Unless it doesn't taste as good. Then pay more.
I mean, it's already like I'm talking about like cough medicine or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it also comes down to like what company do you want to support? If it's like an employee-owned company, you might want to support it just to support it. Buy local.
Is that how you feel about your flour?
Yeah. I feel good that it's going to some company in New Hampshire.
King Camelot? Is that what they're called?
King Arthur. I feel good about it, and they put out a good product.
And how are they on price?
Oh, it's expensive.
They're an American-based company.
No.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out.
It's expensive.
Is there any flour from India?
But it's worth it. You don't want that shit. No, it's worth it. Giving jobs to Americans.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about, can you take expired drugs? Should you take expired drugs?
Oh, I take expired drugs, bro.
You just take 1.5% more. That's it. Now you just multiply by,
I got
1.5.
like ibuprofen that fucking I bought for a hangover in 2010. It's still in my medicine cabinet, waiting for that.
Yeah, so instead of 2, you take 3. Instead of 3, you take, 5. You just throw an extra 1 or 2 in there. Of course you take expired drugs.
I mean, should I? Probably not.
FDA says do not take drugs past their expiration date because of different variety of factors that can, mess up with the efficacy. However, I did come across a study undertaken by the FDA and the Department of Defense a long time ago where they took like 3,000, a lot of drugs with 122 different type of drug products. And what they found was on average, 88% of those drugs you could probably take past the expiration date for an average of over 66 months. Yeah. The FDA says do not take expired drugs.
So I shouldn't be doing what I'm going to continue doing.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I got Advils from high school, so I'm just going to still take those.
That's the liquid caps that he just took. That's why he took 20 of them.
What are those liquid caps?
Every year he takes an extra one.
What are they store brand?
Of course.
So why are you taking so many?
I don't know. I'm just getting these headaches.
Because you're taking
Maybe
7
we should look into
bro.
that.
It's because you ate like 2 sleeves of double
probably
stuffed
a side
Oreos.
effect of taking too much drugs.
It might be the double stuffed Oreos. Or it might be those.
What'd you have for dinner tonight?
Cheese cracker.
2 double stuffed Oreos.
And 7 liquid add.
2 Big Macs and a liter of soda. I
And
don't understand. It's an American
And
dinner.
Kirkland vodka.
I microwaved a Hungry Man. What did you have for dinner?
We want to thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's show, feel free to name drop this podcast to your friends and family. Stay updated on new content and to join in on the discussion, check us out on YouTube at I'm Not Dumb But Podcast and on Twitter at I'm Not Dumb But. Please rate, like, and review wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, stay curious. Deuces.
Later.